Welcome back. Another day of the Astro-Gravitational Report. Um, First of all, I want to say thank you guys for coming in. Thank you for the click likes, the shares, and the subscribes. But also thank you for the comments back. There was a comment in the channel. There was a from I believe either Serbia or one of the ex-Yugoslavia, but since I speak the language, I could understand it. And It's good when you guys sharing in there. One thing that I want to say that during those kind of like intense moments of transformations, you guys can use the chat of the channel. That's the one reason why the chat of the channel is available, not like other people in there that they are disabled the chat, they disable comments in there, and this is why I do it. It's yours in there. So just please don't spam it, don't do anything, but if you can share some things in there for you with the others, this is going to be a more helpful to you, however, and to the rest of us, because when you change yourself, you're helping the community to change. All right. So what are we going on today, right? You're still looking for things. You're still looking for truth. You're still investigating. The moon is at Scorpio. And now, as the moon is a Scorpio, today we are going to be looking to that energy, because see, the moon is going to beginning to square Mars and coming out of the square of Pluto. Why? Because lack of transformation leading to a what? A lack of change. And here is about you to investigating about one thing. What is going to be your purpose? What is going to be your reasons? What is going to be these new evolutions? What do you need to change yourself in there, right? And what is this is hidden deep, deep, deep inside within you. So this is going to be a lot of triggers, particularly today. That the energy over through today is going to beginning, because see, it's not going to be at the beginning. It's not going to be perfect. 45 degrees square in there. I mean, that position's not 45, I'm sorry, 90 degrees square. And what's going to happen is that over the time, the moon is going to come in, and now we're going to see this energy that it's going to come in from that square. So it's going to build slowly, but about the late afternoon and during the night, we're going to have that energies of actions. You're going to be aggravated. It's like, I cannot do this, I cannot do that, I cannot getting into that, I don't know what to act, what to react, and so on and so on. And usually with those intense energies in there, because it's a stubbornness, the stubbornness of Scorpio is like, yeah, I have to get it, I have to do it. While the ruler of Scorpio, which is Mars, is in Aquarius. You cannot evolve in there. It's like, now what I'm going to do. So that emotions as the moon, it's going to be at Scorpio, they're going to be very high. And squaring Mars in there is going to be, I'm stuck, I'm not going into the right directions, and particularly with people who are struggling with what? Material possessions with in the relationship with others, because Scorpio, it is about the material relationships with others. And the other thing, it is, of course, intimacy situations in there, because Scorpio wants everything under one roof. Scorpio wants the unifications, while the Aquarius is like, okay, you need to stop being codependent on me. Aquarius is like, I cannot bring you this happiness if you're not happy with yourself. Build yourself, and then we're going to be building together as a team. We're going to move. Two happy people evolving together is the evolutions that comes in, and then we're going to be doing the work of unifications and Pisces. But Scorpio is what? It's lacking patience. And here we're going to see the lack of patience of these emotions that it's going to be coming in. So please particularly at 7 o'clock, that the reasoning about this energy of lack of transformations is going to be a very strong, because the ascendant is going to be at Pluto, and the moon is going to be a squaring that, while the inner work is going to be with who? With Lilith, that it's squaring Mercury and the North Node. You got to be very patient with that energy, because that energies of Lilith is like, oh, I don't see the future. I don't see what I'm going to do the future. This is all about that you're already predetermining something that you have not faced yet. Okay? And this is what is about it. Very important. What are you going to tell? Because see, the philosophy is about you to go ahead and tell something to yourself. But usually you tell others what you need to tell yourself. Isn't that funny? Yeah, that's what this is. So this is going to be at 7 o'clock energy. At 8 o'clock, we are going to be working with this. What are you going to do in the public? What is the situations with the public? The ascendant is going to be with Mercury, and that energy with Mercury squaring Lilith is going to be coming in. Is going to be so much. Usually this is about like when you're laughing on other people's, what the shadow comes out, right? And you think you're good and great. Well, actually, you're not a good and a great, because what you're laughing at, that's what you are, right? And you kind of like trying to put the other people's down and so on. So this is gonna be some triggers, because maybe people are gonna be trigger you, and they're gonna laugh at you because you cannot change or you cannot do certain things. Keep on going. Okay, usually people who are laughing too much, they're not getting further too much, because they're not doing nothing but laughing. Okay, so that energy is going to be some changed later on, because the inner work is going to be going at Capricorn. This is about, don't forget about it, Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, and Saturn is about what? Restrictions and get the job done. Structure. It has to be, the job has to get done. I just wrote a very good small post about Saturn. I'm going to be posting it here in the channel right after the report. So keep an eye on it. Okay. But 9 o'clock, the ascendant is going to be at Aries. You're going to be looking at and realizing, I need to do something new. I cannot keep going into the old way. Those messages is going to start coming more and more clear as Saturn is exiting Pisces. Saturn is going to be enough teaching you in the spirit, enough teaching you in the things that you have to learn, enough looking in your spirit, enough with this. I'm going to get and start working on developing the new structure for the new world. You like it or you don't like it, that's it. Enough is enough. And you're going to see, you may not laughing on it, but Saturn is going to be doing a very good job, particularly with Neptune, okay? Because if you are trying to establish a structure on a illusion, Saturn is going to be like, it's not approved. You have to work from it is what it is. All right, so keeping it going at 10 o'clock, the energy is going to be looking more into the immaturity. Probably that is going to be related to family patterns and so on, since the inner work at the Capricorn, it's opposing Jupiter at Cancer, who is still retrograde. But Jupiter is like, relax. You're going to start acting when the things is going to be fixed, when the things is going to be okay. You maybe have some things that you needs to be polishing, okay? Don't forget about it, that the diamond first has to be cut and then have to be polished over and over and over again till it gets that perfection, okay? So be patient with yourself, particularly if you're working on polishing this stuff, okay? Because it takes an enormous amount of time. Now, the ascendant is going to be at Taurus. Yeah, of course, you got to be mindful about the material things. But you need to understand, Taurus, it is about one thing. I want to make sure that what I have is enough for what I need to do. Everything else, it's very well done. I can keep it, I can store it, I can collect it, and then I'm going to decide what I'm going to do. I'm going to sell it, make it money. I'm going to keep it for me or whatever it is. Okay? But you need to look at it, what you have, particularly in Taurus. particularly if you have a retrograde planet in Taurus. Let me kind of like open up a little bit things up here. The retrograde planet in Taurus. Okay, if it is the beginning of the retrograde, most of your life that planet is going to have effects on you. So you're going to be looking at into what they did in the material world long time ago, since the beginning of time. Okay, if that is Jupiter, what was the destruction? What does it need to be? What is it? The things that needed to be evolutionized, or what did the people forgot about it? Okay, if that is a Venus, Venus is going to be about the love and the values, old values that it needs to be. That is a Mercury who is retrograde. You are going to be learning to talk about things and communication, how they were before. If that is a Mars that it's retrograde, you're going to be looking at the actions on Earth. What have they been, how they been, and so on and so on. So pay attention to what you have in Taurus. I will talk about this because when we are going to be having some energies who's going to enter in Taurus, you have to learn what you have, particularly if you're worried too much about the material situations. All right. 11 o'clock. At 11 o'clock, the inner work is going to be at Aquarius, and ascendant is going to be at Gemini. Very beautiful, beautiful energies. But the energy of the Gemini, it is what? It is opposing Lilith. And now with this, is like typical as the Gemini. You're looking at the dark side with another people, and you're right away, you are emotional, you're pre-judgmental in there. When are you going to look yours? Right? And this is going to be some adding into the triggers from others, because right now this energy, particularly with the moon, it's going to come in. So be mindful that you may going to see like, oh, well, why is that they're going to thinking about me and so on. You're going to see. People are going to think about you what they're going to think about you. You have nothing to do with that, but they are not you. Because they see you in the prism of what they are. So please, don't take things personally, okay? All right, later on, this lesson is going to be learned. In particularly, the ascendant is going to be a very beautiful trine with the sun. You're taking the authority within yourself as an evolving personality. And as you evolve within you as a consciousness and awareness, which is Saturn right now, it's putting so much pressure because he's like, I'm going to be ending all this. Now it's a last train, it's a last things, and that's it. After that, I'm not going back. I'm not going to be back in there for a very long time in Pisces. All right. So with that energy, the sun is looking at to who? To the growth. It's like what we did grow to it. What did we did? What did we learn? Did we learn things properly? So right now the question is what is going to be the learning process? All right. The moon is going to be at 8 o'clock, at 8 degrees at 1 o'clock. That is going to be a very beautiful ending of that trine with Mercury in there. There's going to be more about these energies with the North Node. Your emotions of the depth is like I'm looking depth into the future, what I need to do in the future. So before you act, you need to study. Before you act, you need to learn. And with that, digging up this investigator's emotions in there, investigate, first of all, your focus. Because whatever you focus, that's what energy goes. Whatever the energy goes, that's what the magnetic field is. Whatever the magnetic field is, that's what you're attracting through the gravity of that energy in your life. If you're wondering, how did you end up in here? Look at to the past, because the past is reference of now. Okay? But don't be afraid of the future, because the future hasn't happened yet. Okay? All right. 2 o'clock, that energy of Jupiter is going to start rising in there. You're going to see some certain patterns in there of the family and so on. You need to be learning how to distract from the family patterns, but at the same time, you need to heal them. And Jupiter is very good. It's like, oh, you haven't growth in this, you haven't growth in that, and so on and so on and so on. Okay, don't blame, don't shame parents, grandparents, grandparents, culture, evolution, and so on and so on in there. Okay, but take a look deeply inside of yourself, because this is an emotional state. Don't forget about it that Cancer is a very emotional. Okay, is the cardinal emotions about family. Scorpio, which is the moon, is about the emotions of the intimacy, is the emotions of what can we build and how to can build together in the material world. If you have problems of building with partner, okay, take a look what you have in Scorpio. Okay, you got a Pluto in Scorpio. Well, you're not alone. Okay, there's a lot of the generations there who have Pluto in Scorpio. They're dealing of learning this. They choose to be born with this because they need to what? Doing that work of transformation. Because they need to learn it where? The other side, Taurus. Okay, so we're going to keep going. At 3 o'clock, the energy of Saturn and Neptune is going to be a very strong, very powerful guidance for the people is going to be coming in. The ascendant is going to be at the end of Cancer. That's beautiful trine with Saturn. Saturn's going to say, hey, I'm the teacher of the world. I'm going to be giving you everything that you want to know as long as you're worth it. Saturn knows you're worth it or not. Okay, so with seeing that this energy is in there, it's kind of like imagine that you are sitting in the front of Sid. Okay, he was the Egyptian god of that, and there or Anubis, and you are in the scales, and Saturn is like that. Okay, is your heart and the feather, each one is lighter. And if you're worthy, he sends you where you need to be. But Saturn right now is going to do, oh, are you worthy for this new beginning? I will give you this new structure. Because you already did enough. You proved to me that you learn enough. And I'm going to open the secrets for you. Saturn holds the secrets of the universe. You have a Saturn in the 12th house, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay? All right, talking about the next hour, 4 o'clock, the inner work is going to be with Chiron. That is a sextile with the sun there. The ascendant is going to be opposing Mars and square the moon. Here, how it's this emotion is going to be kind of like a boiling and continue. A lack of patience, okay? Usually what in these cases is the Aquarius is like, you know what? I had enough of new things. Screw it. Putting the plans that you need to do, you put it into what? The trash can. The impatience of the Scorpio is like, you know what? Screw this with the partners and so on. It's not going to go into the future. It's not going to be evolving. This person is not going to evolve. That person is not going to be evolved. Here is how you set yourself in the pitfalls. First of all, you have an investigating things. You have on learning other things. And second of all, you need to understand Saturn is teaching you a patience. And this is going to be lots of energy, but this is also going to be a test. Okay? Since the ascendant is at Leo, Leo is opposing Mars at Aquarius, are you acting on this evolutionary state of a person as an age of Aquarius? You're going to be like, what? And this is why it's going to be require lots of patience. That patience is going to be kind of like a boiling it up in the next hour because the ascendant is going to be opposing the sun, and now your authority is boiling. You're tired of the ego or people who are only thinking about themselves. You're tired of all this trauma and the drama that Leo has, because Leo has the trauma and the drama because lack of attention. One of the biggest attention seekers, those are the fire signs. Okay? We're talking about Aries, we are talking about Leo, we're talking about Sagittarius. Okay? But particularly Leo, because Leo is like, oh, okay, I'm the king, I'm the queen, I should have all your attentions to me. Well, boo, it's not like that. Okay, and some of the people is going to have some very kind of like a hard time with this. You try to organize the things in the next hour. God bless your soul. But this energy right now of the moon, it's entering 11 degrees. Mars is at almost 13, 12 degrees, 48 minutes. You feel the pressures that it's in there from this Mars. Now, the ascendant at Virgo, it's going to be opposing Venus and Mercury, and all these energies right now is beginning to really kind of like steering the pot. Okay? Hi Anas and hi Peace Society, thank you for coming in. And as we are looking those particularly energy is like, what are you telling to your soul? Because right now Mercury that is at Pisces, it's really under pressure. It's pressure from Lilith. It is a pressure from Uranus. And Uranus is moving what? Forward. But we're going to know that Mercury is going to become a retrograde in Pisces. So whatever you're saying today to yourself, later on you have to redo it. It is what it is. Okay? All right. 7 o'clock. This is going to be that energy. There's going to be some very kind of like intense. The ascendant is going to be with the south node there. It's going to be particularly triggers and giving you the energy of this divine aspects towards Mars. How are you going to be acting kind of based of your spirit, of your soul? How are you going to be with these new energies? And this is like, oh, I don't know this, I don't know that. Either you're going to make excuses or you're going to find the resources of the moon to searching in depth. What the heck is going on with you? Okay? If you need some help, if you need something, okay, I don't understand this, I gotta go to this guy. Have a problem with my body, you're going to want a chiropractor. If you have problem with my energies, you're going to a Reiki. If you have a problem with your psyche, you're going to a psychologist. Have a problem with like, I don't know what to tell myself, you go to a philosopher. Okay? I don't know how to reach out to my soul. And you go into a spiritual master, he says, go meditate, right? So this is those energies that are going to be coming at 8 o'clock. That energy of Mars is going to be particularly 12, and the moon is going to be at 12 degrees, 27 minutes. Mars, it's 12 degrees, 52 minutes forward. But the moon, it's going to be beginning also to what? Square the sun. This is a third quarter square. You're beginning the last quarter of what the issues was of this new moon. Okay? And that new moon that it was at the last degree in there within Capricorn, when all the personal planets were all piling up in there and so on. It was about what? Changing dramatically to a personality into new ways of transformations. And now this is what a lot of the people is like, they making decisions when they have not learned the whole lesson. As the moon it's going on around. Okay, so here is a new moon, right? So the moon, it comes in first quarter, full moon, that is a full oppositions, and now we are going to a third quarter, right? So we still have one more quarter to learn. Here's how the people give up before they learn what they need to. Here how is the people, they're like throwing up the towel, I call it quit, and it's like, yeah, this and that, without learning the whole thing. But people also have to realize that the situations, they are like this. They are like the waves of the sea. They keep repeating themselves. And there. My date of birth, 11 of May, 62. I always don't feel good in this month. Could you tell me any reason? Peace Society, I can give you 15 minutes of my time, not here and that's because it's a personal information. Email me at astroviber1111 at gmail.com and I can give you 15 minutes totally free. You don't have to pay anything. Can answer that questions to see what is going on. Okay. All right. 9 o'clock. The ascendant is going to be at Libra. That is going to be challenging Saturn, because it's like, how is my going to be a new relationship coming in if you, him or I or she on I, however in your case might be my partner and so on, they're going to be changing to a new personality. What is going to happen if I change? And I'm going to be liking it this, and I'm going to love it and this. You need to learn that you have to become who you truly are. That is your purpose of life. Not become somebody to fit someplace where you're not belong to. Okay? And that's what Saturn wants. True personality. Believing into the true reality, because the reality is coming from it is what it is. And you're here to learn that. Yes. You're learning to, not like, oh, well, these people make so much money, I'm going to be copying what they did, and I'm going to be like them, and so on. And guess what? Because you are imitator, you did certain things out there, and so on all your life. When you right now have to be a real person, what happens? You don't know how to be a real person. And you have challenges. But this is the greatest gift to yourself, to become that real person. Okay? All right. Relationship situations because of a past relationship, past family issues. If you haven't let him go by now, you might as well do it, because this is going to be really, 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 it's going to be for like another month. Okay. And things like that. And you are going to be in there with this. So the best thing right now, it is to look at it to the relationships, and those relationships is going to be help you to understand the actions that you need to do and the authority you need to do. You need to understand that sometimes your partner, it is the best thing you got, because they can see things that nobody else. You can say things and they can understand if that's your real partner. Otherwise, if you end up in a relationship with unhealed wounds, right? Wounded people wound people, right? Heal people, healing people. Peace Society, I'm not sharing my cell phone, because guess what? People's going to start calling me out of the blue on my cell phone, not realizing I'm living in Spain. And I had some issues before giving out. I used to help a lot of the community in there and so on. So as I said, write me an email at astroviber1111@gmail.com, or find me on the Facebook. Okay? Find me on the Facebook during the Messenger, and I use Messenger to help in a lot of the people. All right? But cell phone, no. That's not happening. All right, 11 o'clock, the inner work is going to be at the beginning of Leo. This is going to be some, again, those need of attentions. Oh, but my partner, my mom, my kingdom, my situations. Cut that out without attention seeking. You are about that energy of Leo. It is about to build wisdom. If you don't understand the purpose of I need to grow and care for the people around me, you're going to be demanding those people around you working for you. And with demands, nothing good's coming out. Okay? That is the one thing that Pluto right now wants what? Transformation. Okay? The inner work is going to be opposing Pluto, while the ascendant is going to be opposing Chiron. This is a self-wounded things from what? From the society towards you. Okay? And some of the self-inflicted inner wounds of the inner child, it's your responsibility. Okay? It's your responsibility, you to heal this within yourself. And this is why no wonders Chiron spent the most of the time in Aries. because that's our things. Okay. All right. Well, this one was the astrogravitational report, and I'm gonna be giving you tomorrow, February 9th. What is gonna happen? 7 o'clock in the morning. What are we doing at 7 o'clock in the morning? Well, the energy of this third quarter moon, it's gonna come to more and more. Problem with authority, problem with other things. You need to understand the authority that it's coming in from Aquarius towards Scorpio. Okay, that is a different vibrations. Scorpio, it's still thinking about the material world, about the intimacy, and it's build this beautiful emotions and so on. And Aquarius is like, I'm different. I live up in the skies. I'm dealing with the universe. And you want me only to dealing with one person and be in this holding, okay, and tied up with the money and trying to control the material world. That's not happening. So right now your intuition is going to be learning what is the proper authority of Aquarius. But that's going to be happening. And we want to talk more about it mañana, tomorrow. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Wishing you good luck with this. And hopefully everything is going to be okay within your life. Okay? And with that being said, so come back tomorrow for another astrogravitational report. Much love.